Instructions to use the Excel reporting template. The Excel reporting template has 5 worksheets. The first is the instructions for the SLO. Here you will find the objectives for the collection of 2022 data, how the data will be used, what data to provide and how to provide the data, and the fourth is the contact information. The second worksheet is the definition worksheet. Here you will find the definition of the scale budget, definition of the scale staff, what is FTE and how it is calculated. And you also will find, in addition, you will also find an FTE calculation toolbox which can be used to calculate the FTE. The third, the important, is the input tool. The input worksheet has 5 sections: part A, part B, part C, part D, and part E. Before you go into these parts, you first need to fill in the country. For example, let's take Austria. As you can see, the part A is mandatory. That is, every member state should provide the total budget available for the market surveillance activities and total staff allocated for market surveillance activities. For example, here I'm going to put 100,000 euros and 20 FTE, just for example. And if you have any comments, this can be provided. In case if USLO has information on the budget and staff per individual sector, then you can go to the session part B. And of course, in case you have this information as a group of sectors, then you can go to the part C. Both the section B and C can be used to complement each other. Please note that part B and part C are optional. Although it is optional, it is strongly recommended for SLOs to provide the data if it is available, as this data will be considered mandatory in the future. Now let's see how to use the part B. So you have the all list of 36 sectors, and now I want to fill in the information for aerosol. So I have a budget of 50,000 euros and an FTE of 10. But now again, I have a group of sectors for which I have the total budget and the total staff. So how do we do that? For that, you go to part C. Like I said before, it is again voluntary. If you have information, you can provide, but we do strongly recommend it. Now here you have 10 groups. How do you expand the group? You click on the plus sign here and the group will expand. You can select the sector of interest, aerosol, and biocide. And I want to choose eco design energy labeling. And the budget here is 25,000. And then FTE is 5. I have another group. So how do? I go to the second group, click on the plus sign, and again you choose the sector. So here I want to choose CPR, and by mistake if I choose the CPR again, it will show that it's not right. So you can now choose GPST, and I will choose another sector which is LVT, and here my budget is 25,000 and the FTE is 5. Then you come down. You fill all the information that you have, and then you see in the row 444 here, this is a calculated sum of individual sectors and a group of sectors. The same for the FTE. In case if the difference between the calculated sum of the individual sector and the group sector to that of the total provided is not the same, you will find the difference here. And in case if the difference is significant, you need to provide the comment. So let's quickly check how that would be. For example, if I'm giving only like 5,000 euros here, and then you will automatically see that this difference is enormous. So that is a difference of 20,000 euros. And if it's not right, you can check your data, or if this is the data that you have, then you can provide the comment on why there is a difference. Now we go to the session part D, and which is again the mandatory session, which is on the feedback on the quality and the data collection process. Here we have 4 questions. The first question is the quality of the data provided. You can choose whether it is a rough estimate or a partial representation of the national data. And then if you have any comments, this can be provided. The second question is how challenging was it to provide the information on the resources? We have scaled it to 1 to 5, 1 being not challenging, 5 being very challenging. You can choose whichever you found it, and you can provide the comments. And the third question is the important question is how many MSAs reported to the following budget categories, because this information was collected in the EU survey. So for example, we have listed all the categories here. Let's take the external lab testing. Here we have the options to say all MSA have reported external lab testing. Majority of the MSA has reported external lab testing. Half of the MSA has reported external lab testing. Minority of the MSA have reported lab testing, and none of them have reported external lab testing. You choose, however, you have your response on. So for here, I will choose all, and here I will choose none. Here I can choose half. Here perhaps maybe minority. And fourth question is if you have any additional issues that you met during the collection of information on the resources, this can be provided. And the part E is optional. It's a feedback on the template. If you have any recommendation on the template for the future improvement, please provide. It will help us to improve. And then we have also provided two examples. The example one is where you will find the information on part A, which is the total, and part B, which is an individual sectoral data, how the information is filled in. And example 2 is part A, part B, and part C. So here you will find the information on the totals, sectoral data, and as well as grouped data. I hope this is clear. Thank you.